Welcome to another edition of MIW. Got the D-Man here, and I am glad you can join me today. It's going to be a great day. Pretty nice here today. It's been warm for December. Anyway, smash that like button, subscribe. Got a video coming out every day. And if you're on Instagram, leave a comment. You can leave a comment on YouTube too. Today we're talking about high status. Yesterday, high value, similar. High status, high value, same thing, kinda. But anyway, so I got this article off of the internet and we will go from that. How to raise your status, how to be seen as a high status male. But more important than that is not how to be seen, is how to be. Because when you are, then people perceive you as such. So really the most important thing is that you feel high status and you know you're high status. Then you project that image to all the people you talk to or the people you are around. You have an aura, so to speak, of high status. One thing I think of as I'm talking to you is when you walk in a place, walk in that place like you own it. Look around there like you would if you were the president's bodyguard, scanning the place, looking at everybody. If someone looks in your eyes, a man, look in his eyes and then pass on. A woman, look in her eyes, but look at her until she looks away. Not in some creepy stalker type look, but just a look of confidence and strength scanning the room. It works really well. Always consider like you're on stage, like you're on the stage, the world stage, and everybody is looking at you. Maybe it sounds arrogant, but is what you're doing working? If it was, you wouldn't be here, right? So try something different. The definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So here we go. Status tip number 1. Smile and be stylish. Smiling's great, but you don't want to smile like a Cheshire cat, like this big old grin like, please accept me. A kind of a half smile, a smirk sometimes is better when you're looking at girls. But be natural. If natural comes out that you smile, then smile. But just be careful about smiling too much. It's got to kind of like with everything else, moderation. Okay, you might be a little down. You're about to interview for another job you probably won't get. Or you're going on a first date for the 3rd time this month. Okay. It's okay to feel defeated. Yes, but it's not okay to act defeated. That's how you lose the battle before it begins. Act as if you are the most important person in the world, because to you, you are. Okay. So even if the odds of something working out aren't great, act otherwise. Show everybody you're a winner to be by smiling. Stand up straight, good posture. Important. Okay. A smile, confident but not cocky one. I disagree with that. I think you need to be a little cocky. It's like my boxing coach told me. I was too nice of a guy in the ring. He said, you need to be a little more cocky. And better to err on the side of cockiness than on the side of too much groveling humility, so to speak. It's a human thing. Studies reveal that smiling beats frowning. I agree with that. As well as neutral face. In terms of a person's facial attractiveness, if you were to see 2 faces of the same subject, male or female, with one having a smile and the other being neutral, you're more likely to rate the smiling face as far more attractive. Now, when I go to bid jobs for clients, I let the smile rip, okay? That's a little different than when you're interacting with a girl or women, especially women that you like, because sometimes they perceive a big smile or overly smiling as approval seeking, kind of a beta trait. Whether it is or not doesn't matter. That's the way they perceive it. Like you're so happy just to even be talking to them. And that puts you on a lower status than the woman. Okay, but it doesn't stop there. The most I'm an awesome guy smile you can make won't get you far if your clothing tells others I'm worthless. Very important how you dress. People judge you by your appearance. Does it mean people judge a book by its cover? Yes, and I will agree with that 100%. People say, oh, you shouldn't judge people by how they look. Doesn't matter. That's what we do, okay? Your first impression is the appearance that person gives off, and their stature and the way they hold themselves, the way they move. All these things are very important. It may seem unnatural to you at first. Like for me, I have to focus on my posture because I have a tendency to slump over just because it's more comfortable. So when I'm walking with good posture, I actually feel like I'm like one of those barnyard cock roosters. But you get used to it and it becomes natural for you. Okay. The most I'm an awesome guy smile you can make won't get you far if your clothing tells others I'm worthless. Doesn't mean people judge a book by its cover. I read that, but hey, that's worth saying twice. Yes, that's the world we live in, especially when it comes to first impressions, as I said. However, dressing up well isn't about spending lots of money. Only the rich and famous would be showing status if that were the case. It's about wearing clothes that conform to certain standards, clothes that society associates with positive thoughts and feelings. That requires nailing the fit, your body type, dressing appropriately for your age. I say dressing however you feel comfortable, but I understand what they mean. I would not wear some of the clothes that my kids wear. They wouldn't look good on me. Looking your best for formal and casual settings. Choosing the right accessories, dress shoes, hats, necktie knots, pocket square folds, etc. I'm not sure what a pocket square fold is. I guess I need to trump up my status here. No pun intended there. What's your best source for learning all these? You're on it right now. Just browse RMRS to expand your knowledge and find the answers to any questions about men's style. Bonus tip, wear a nice watch. I don't wear a watch, but I think that's a good idea. You could try boosting your status and think you should make big changes, but that's not true at all. Your goal is to impress people and gain their respect through small, subtle details. I agree with that. And what better items to use than a stylish dress watch, like the ones from Vincero. This must be an advertisement. All these big brands sell watches for huge sums of money, but they're not targeting young professionals or men who are working their way up the corporate ladder. Vincero is different. They offer quality dress watches for a fraction of the prices. They enhance. Yeah, it's an advertisement, I think, but it's a good one. What else we got here? Number 2, try power posing. Okay, this is related to an interview, but it's relevant to all things in life. When you're sitting down, don't cross your arms and your legs. It's like a defensive style. If you're a man, you're not afraid of anything. Well, you may have fear, you just don't show it. What's the difference between a hero and a coward? The hero faces his fear, the coward turns away and runs or walks away. To live another day? Nah, but to die many deaths. The hero only dies once, the coward dies many times. Okay, you've got an interview today, or maybe you're meeting a girl today, and you're waiting in the office lobby. Your resume is good, you know exactly what to say, but this is how you're seated. Your head is facing the floor. Don't do that. Your arms are folded up. Legs are stuck together. What did I just tell you? Well, does that look like a guy who believes he is the best candidate or the best man? No, that's not someone who that's someone who thinks he's worthless or feels like he is. Low self-worth, low self-esteem, no status. You'd be much better off incorporating power poses before an interview or while you're preparing for the presentation. You could do them for a minute in the restroom, or you could try them in your office when you're alone. What's important is you're consciously giving your body power through these poses, which strengthens the mind. Your actions strengthen your mind or weaken it, depending on which ones you're taking. You can't feel your way into good acting, but you can act your way into good feeling. The feeling follows the actions, and you can always take the actions. You can't sometimes change the feeling. That's difficult, but you can change your actions. something that Cobra Tate said, it just helped me immensely. What does it matter how you feel? You're a man. You don't feel like doing it? Do it anyway. You don't feel like working? Do it anyway. You don't feel like getting up early? Do it anyway. You don't feel like being good to people? Do it anyway. You don't feel like saying no? Do it anyway. You're a man. It doesn't matter how you feel. We place too much importance on feelings in the USA here. You're a man. You can feel those feelings, but don't act on those feelings unless they're in the same direction or motivate you or move you towards your vision and your goal. You're going to have times when you feel down, and you're going to have times when you feel like you're taking over the world. But in those times when you're down, you got to continue to take the actions of the man who's taking over the world, who's moving towards his vision and towards his goals. You got to do that, and then after you take those actions, invariably you feel better. It's amazing how it works. It works. Trust me. No, try it yourself. Don't trust me. Just do it and see what happens. Okay. How true is all of this? Take it from researchers at UC Berkeley, Harvard, and INSEAD in France, who did a test on people during doing a mock job interview. Participants had to do either a high power or low power stance before the interview, while coming up with a speech about their qualifications. It turned out that the high power posers did the interview with better delivery, presentation, and were more hireable overall. There you go. Body language. Body language mastery. There's a course by Modern Life Dating, Jonathan. He has a body language mastery course. I would recommend you take that. If you have trouble with body, with your body and your presentation, your physical presentation. Okay. Tip 3, sit down the right way. We don't always realize that the way we sit equals a strong nonverbal cue. People tend to make quick judgments about others based on how they're seated. Okay. Why? Unlike standing, your legs have more options to position themselves. You can keep them together with no space in between, but that's similar to the closed nature of folding your arms. Not to mention, it's uncomfortable for men. Sometimes it's comfortable for me. What you want to do is either sit with both feet on the floor and legs 11 to 24 inches apart with your body upright. Use the figure 4 leg lock position. See the image? I can't show you the image. I'll figure that out one day. Not only are both positions more comfortable to take, but they allow you to show a more open and less defensive attitude. They raise your confidence levels. You feel a sense of power transferring from the body to the mind, since people with power are often seen to take up more space. Relax, kick back, spread yourself out. And these positions signal you're actively listening to somebody else talking, which helps in meetings or networking events. Okay, good advice. Number 4, and I'm not going to go through all this because I got to go to work, okay? My other work. Tip 4, master good handshakes and eye contact. So many people don't know how to shake hands. When you shake someone's hand, you want your hand to go in like this and meet here and then turn and grip. Don't grip their hand like you're trying to break it, but make sure your hand goes into their hand. Now what happens sometimes is I wish I had someone here to show you the example, but I don't at this moment. What happens sometimes is you're putting your hand, as your hand goes, let me see, into theirs and meets here, they will get the grip on you. Now if this happens to show dominance, what you do is you take your other hand and you put it on the outside of their hand and you shake their hand, because otherwise they have the grip on you and it puts you in a position of lower status, lower dominance. There's all kinds of things that they do that I've watched a documentary on it, so to speak, where the presidents use these techniques to display dominance. It goes on far past that, but with the body language and things. But when you shake someone's hand, give them a good firm handshake. Very important. And look right into their eyes. Look directly into their eyes. Say, hey, how you doing? My name's Mark Daniels. Great to meet you. and then wait for the response and go from there. But look into their eyes. Stand up straight, good firm handshake, not too strong, but definitely not weak like the dead fish handshake. Man, I hate that. And when you're shaking women's hands, I prefer a woman give me your hand, but some women now shake hands like a man. You know, when they do that, I just want to grip their knuckles and, kind of grind them together. Because she's not a man, right? Don't shake my hand like a man. But it's not their fault. They've been taught that way since the women's liberation movement in the 60s. Give me your hand like a lady, and I will respect you like a lady, okay? Like I say, I'm never going to have a baby. I'm never going to be a woman. Women are never going to be men. I don't care how much society or the movement tells them they are. They're never going to be men. They're not supposed to be, and I'm not supposed to be a woman, okay? Why don't we just accept that and be who we are? That's a whole nother video. Hey, thanks for joining me. Smash that like button and subscribe. I get off on a rant there sometimes. I really appreciate my subscribers. I appreciate you watching my videos, and I really want to bring some value into your life. I'm a selfish guy, right? So the more value I give to you, it comes back to me. Everything I tell you to do just reinforces and reiterates what I need to do too on a consistent basis. Because if you don't continue to put this stuff into you, you will forget it. You know, it's a constant thing, a day by day. We only have the moment, the present moment. And we have to continually feed our minds with what and who we want to be. Because if we don't, someone else is feeding our minds, and you become what they want you to be. That's enough for today. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me.